Don't ruin your life. Don't date or marry someone with different values or life plans. The issues discussed here continue to cause serious marital problems, including divorce. The main reason they continue to cause problems is because physical and emotional attraction often override rational thinking, and therefore these issues are suppressed or ignored until it's too late. The following list of beliefs, values, and life plans on which you should agree aren't in any order. Any one of them alone can ruin a marriage, and a ruined marriage can ruin your life. For any particular issue listed below, if you can come to an agreement or compromise beforehand and stick to it, your marriage can work. 1. Having or not having children. If the answer is yes, the next question is when and how many. This is possibly the most important issue in marriage. 2. How the children will be raised. What religious training, if any, what type of education, acceptable methods of discipline, acceptable medical treatment, acceptable food and other forms of nourishment starting from infancy. 3. Work and children. Whether or not both parents will work outside the home, and who takes care of the children if both parents work outside the home. 4. Sexual compatibility. This isn't actually a values or life plans issue. However, it's possibly the second most important issue likely to cause marital problems, usually later in a marriage, and possibly the only one least likely ever to be openly and honestly discussed. Sex is a fundamental human urge, but its expression varies tremendously from person to person. Don't assume that you and your potential mate have compatible needs, wants, or quirks. If you have sex before marriage, you should pay attention to how much your partner seems to enjoy sex and to any sexual acts that you consider acceptable but which evoke squeamishness, disgust, or outright rejection by your partner. Sex can be a touchy and embarrassing subject, so you can start the discussion in general terms and be more specific as things progress. Obviously, sexual preferences can change over time, but premarital discussions can reduce the chance of later disappointment. You might find that talking about this can actually ease inhibitions and future mutual tension. It doesn't have to be a grimly serious talk. Humor can help. 5. Religion. Do you have the same religious beliefs? Are you both religiously observant? If so, to what degree? Strict, intermittent, casual? Are your religious differences a deal breaker for marriage? There are some religious differences you might work around or compromise on, such as raising your children as religiously observant, sending your children to a religious school, observing certain religious practices at home, observing religious holidays, paying tithes or giving money to support the church, synagogue, mosque, etc., performing charitable or missionary work, when, how much, what kind. 6. Home location. Which places, states, climates are acceptable to live in both now and in the future should a job require relocating. 7. Division of labor. Which tasks and chores are the responsibility of each person? 8. Finances. Financial goals and daily or monthly practices, including the use of credit cards, agreement on purchases, control of funds, accounting for funds spent. 9. Social life. Partying limits. Frequency of socializing. Acceptable friends for both spouses. Acceptable house guests. 10. Social behavior. What is acceptable, what is not. This includes drinking, arguing in public or among friends, disagreement regarding family issues in front of other people, flirting, using crude language, or telling dirty jokes. 11. Relatives. Who you both agree to stay close to, who should be avoided, limits of contact. This is not a minor consideration. The evil mother-in-law, the mother-clinging daughter, the overbearing or condescending father are all cliches based on reality. 12. Drinking and drugs. What is acceptable, what is not, either in private or at social events. 13. Politics. Politics is life philosophy played out on a national level. The politics of a nation, the laws passed, policies pursued, taxes imposed, funds allocated, and even the corruption tolerated or even made legal, encompasses the full range of fundamental beliefs about human nature, religion, personal responsibility, parenting, family life, money, and other personal values. It can be very difficult for people to coexist in one home when they disagree on life philosophy and therefore on politics. You might think you can just never talk about politics, but this is usually impossible because politics, philosophy put into practice, affects virtually every aspect of our lives. Even if you manage to avoid actual spoken words, the issues will still exist, simmering below the surface and ready to blow up. Two people who have different religious beliefs and different personal interests, for example, one is a devout Christian and an avid golfer, and the other is an agnostic and a mountain biker, will probably have more success in getting along than two people who have different political beliefs. That's because religion isn't legally coercive, at least not in the Western world. To please your spouse, you can go to regular religious gatherings or not, show respect for another's particular spiritual entities or not, play golf or mountain bike or not. But politics determines which philosophy is imposed on us to one degree or another by the government. If your spouse supports a political party that is spending billions of dollars on something you vehemently oppose, or votes for politicians who advocate laws that you believe are unjust or even evil, that's a hard pill to swallow. Some final thoughts. Because people and situations change over time, pre-marriage agreement or compromise on the things discussed previously do not guarantee a long and happy coexistence, but they will greatly increase the chances and will almost certainly prevent a short, miserable marriage and possibly a nasty divorce. Discovering that you don't agree or can't compromise on these things prior to getting married allows you to go your separate ways amicably, avoiding misery and possible divorce, and gives you precious time to find someone you are truly compatible with.